could the God of the Bible be Satan? Let me first start by saying to you guys this, that the creator of the universe, which I believe there is a creator of the universe, because the mathematics and the quantum physics proves that we're living in a creation. We're living in a fractal holographic matrix. It was created by somebody. Somebody programmed this matrix. We're living in a coded program. You know, how you can wrap or can't wrap your mind around it, that's what we're living inside of. And that's a creation created by someone, somewhere on the outside of this realm. I believe that we're living in a creation. I also believe that there's divine energy imbued into all the energetic particles that exist in this entire realm, what make up your body and everything else, and that your consciousness is being streamed in from even higher dimensions, because we're not really here. The entity that people are praying to is not the God they think it is, not even close. It's actually multiple gods in the Bible. It's these Anunnaki beings, these people that were written about in the Sumerian, cuneiform, and Babylonian Akkadian epics. It was gods with an S, and if you find the original translation of the word God, you'll find that in the Bible it's mistranslated to be singular when it's actually plural. Everywhere where you see the word God in the Bible, it's gods with an S. And no, it's not a capital G, it's a lowercase g, because these people didn't create anything in the universe. All they did was manipulate and create havoc here on this planet. They masqueraded as gods, and people believed it because people have this innate thing inside of them that they want to worship. They want to worship something outside of themselves so badly that they will give anyone the level or the title of a deity. Human beings are just one gigantic cargo cult. When a more advanced civilization and group of beings meets up and enacts and engages with a group of beings that are less advanced technologically and spiritually, the less advanced beings will then deify those more advanced beings. They will automatically, instantaneously deify them. Even today, if an alien landed in a spaceship in the middle of town, the town square, a lot of people will drop to their knees and start praying, thinking it's Jesus Christ returning, when Jesus never said he was returning. Jesus never said he was coming back. He said the Christ would return. And the Christ existed long before he was even born. It's the Christ consciousness. Before Jesus, there were many Christs. It's a understanding, a level of thinking, a way of ascending to a higher level of knowledge and wisdom and understanding about yourself internally, and then on the outside, the world as a whole, and understanding that there are levels to ascension, and being born again has to do strictly with raising your consciousness to a higher level than it was before. And you will continuously be born again over and over again as you ascend to higher dimensions of knowledge and wisdom and understanding. That's what being born again is all about. If you look at the ancient mysteries, being born again is all about how far you can ascend consciously. And then looking back on that previous level you were at and realizing, wow, I was there. Now I'm here. I learned so much to get to this level. Now there's even another level. And the top level, who knows where that's at? It's a continual process, nonstop. I'm still learning. I'm still growing every single day. Every single day, there's more to learn. There's more to understand. There's more knowledge and wisdom to gain. That's why I love to travel to these places and meet up with these indigenous cultures and these sages and these wisdom keepers and talk to them. Jesus is not returning. The Christ will return. The Christ consciousness. When that comes back in each and every individual person, we will head into a golden age. We will head into a golden age as a species on this planet. It's a level of consciousness that will spread around, and every single person will ascend to a certain level of that Christ consciousness being. That will actually mean the return of the Christ. And it has nothing to do with a person coming back. It has nothing to do with somebody coming back to snatch up the souls that beg for forgiveness and all this other kind of crazy nonsense that was fabricated. None of that stuff. Let's talk about one of the very first craziest scenarios, most sadistic scenarios I've ever read in the Bible. But let's look at this one of the very first things I ever read that really had me scratching my head as a kid. I think I was 3 years old when I was reading this, and so I came across Genesis 22, where God is speaking to Abraham, and he wants to test Abraham, and this is what he does. He says, sometime later, God tested Abraham. He said to him, Abraham, here I am, he replied. So Abraham's speaking to God now. They got an open conversation, right? They're having a communication back and forth, two-way conversation. This entity he's talking to is a person. that he thinks is a God. I don't think he's talking to some mystical, invisible figure. Then God said, take your son, your only son, Isaac, whom you love, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains I will tell you about. Can you imagine that? So this person who you worship in and thinking it's the almighty creator and the almighty creator of the heavens and earth and the universe and is all knowing and all love and everything else. And now this person who he calls a he, by the way, because I don't believe God has no gender, but there's a he all of a sudden. He's telling this guy, I want you to take your firstborn son and I want you to kill him in my name's sake. That's what he's telling him. So early the next morning, Abraham got up and sadly saddled his donkey. He took with him 2 of his servants and his son Isaac. When he had cut enough wood for the burnt offering, this man is following through on this craziness. Tell me this ain't sadistic on both sides. He set out for the place God had told him about. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. He said to his servants, stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go over there. We will worship and then we will come back to you. So he's lying now. Now he's telling a lie. He's trying to tell his servants, now we're just going to go over here and pray for a minute and come right back. He ain't doing that. He's getting ready to go murder his own son in the namesake of this fake God. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac. So now he's putting the wood on his son. And he himself carried the fire and the knife as 2 of them went together. Isaac spoke up and said to his father Abraham, Father. Yes, my son, Abraham replied. The fire and the wood are here, Isaac said. But where's the lamb for the burnt offering? He don't even know he's about to get murdered by his own dad. He doesn't even know his dad is taking him up there to kill him in the name of his God, with the lowercase g. Abraham answered, God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son. And the 2 of them went on together. Again, he's lying again. When they reached the place that God had told him about, Abraham built an altar and he arranged the wood on it. He bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Then he reached out his hand and took the knife to slay his son.